Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome back. Another episode of Be You podcast, part of Super Mom's Magic Circle. And today we have Olga, a special guest. You will love her. We'll talk about relationships, we'll talk about retreats, we'll talk about challenges, lifestyle. She just came from Bali, so I can't wait to hear about that. But before we dive in with our amazing guest for today, let me share with you that I still have 2 slots available for business clarity coaching and I offer them for free. If you feel that you are ready to really take your business to the next level and you really want the business to talk your language and really in love and fall in love with your business, send me that fire and then we can make some magic together. Now, let me introduce you to this beautiful, gorgeous woman. She is, beside her looks, she's incredible. She's a proud mom of a 19 years old son, a motivational speaker, multidimensional guide, and a relationship coach. She moved to the UK with her son when he was just 3 years old. So, beginning a powerful journey of building a life and a business as a single mother. She's been through a lot. She knows how you can cut corners. From those early days to new leading retreats in Bali and around the world, Olga helps people awaken, heal, and transform. She's here to speak, spark transformation, inspire truth, and build real connection. Let's welcome Olga. Welcome. Hello.
Hello, thank you so much, Roxandra, for having me here. It's such a joy and pleasure being with you.
Thank you so much, love. Thank you. I'm just so excited and I cannot wait to hear more from you. Since I spoke with you a few months ago, I was keep thinking like, wow, this woman, she's doing so much. Let's break the ice and tell us about Bali. Tell us about your retreats because I know you just came from Bali recently. Share with us that and then we're just gonna go with the flow.
Oh, Bali was magical, absolutely magical. Seriously, amount of tears we have shared, amount of laughters we had, it was just incredible. Those people who came to relationship retreat or then mind, body, soul healing retreat, both were really, really powerful because that was magic, absolute magic. One couple that literally said these words, "You have given us a new life." Another person said he was in recovery for 9 years and he committed on the last day to shift his identity from being in recovery to being recovered. Right. So he shifted the identity. And amount of magic was that's just incredible. Seriously, one couple they were on the verge of separation because of the infidelity issues, and they revamped their relationship. They healed themselves, their traumas, their childhood issues. Oh, honestly, on the last day we went to temple because we were also doing daily activities. We went to rice field, where, by the way, we had a proposal. Somebody came to this retreat as a couple, not married, and a guy, he was like, I'm not sure about marriage. I want to be in a relationship. I love being in a relationship, but marriage, it's just a paper. I'm not sure. And there we are. We're going to the rice field, Romans, beautiful views, all that sunshine. And he proposed her there. That was a surprise proposal. So it's just magic. It's just
Wow.
magic.
I'm so happy to hear those stories. Did he had a ring?
No, because he wasn't expecting to propose her. He just felt, he said, Olga, the transformation we went through with you, and he said, you helped me to understand my limitations about the marriage. And you know how much he was disbelieving in marriage because of the stories he have seen. And he changed his mindset so much that he wasn't even ready himself. He said, I just felt like proposing. And it came in such a beautiful moment. And then he said, that's it, we're getting married. No matter what, we're getting married. Mhm.
That's fantastic. And she said yes, I guess.
Of course, she said yes, of course.
Well,
Yeah.
that's brilliant, Golga. I'm so happy to hear those news. And it's incredible what's happening there. So tell us more about the retreats that you do, how often you do them, for how long. Usually they're in Bali. Just talk with us a bit this part of your business.
So far, retreats were done in Bali. However, many people reached out to me on so many occasions and they said, Olga, Bali is beautiful, but it's way too far to go there for a week. When are you going to do them somewhere else? So this year, I'm actually expanding to do them in other locations as well. I'm looking at Thailand. I'm having already retreats pre-booked in Australia in Cairns. That's in March next year. And I'll be definitely expanding to Europe as well, like Portugal and Spain. So that'll be definitely more regular because so far they were only twice a year. And if you missed it, you missed it, which of course it was kind of limiting in some ways because not everybody could do September or April. April because it's my birthday month, and I like to be in Bali for my birthday. Why not? But yes, now I'm expanding to other locations because people are demanding more. People do want to come to these retreats, but Bali for some of them is just so far and unaccept and just unreachable, really.
That's beautiful. And I'm glad to hear that you're expanding even more and you give more chances to more people to come and join your magic because
Yes,
you're definitely creating magic
yes,
there. So you are all
thank you.
about relationships. First, I have to say
Mm.
congratulations for being a single mom. You raised your child, you came to England, he was 3, everything was on your shoulders. You did that journey on your own. And find somehow you found the strength to still be true to who you were and you started running your business from a very young age. Let's talk about that. Tell us about that journey.
Well, first of all, I need to also add here that I came to England without speaking any English. So this would not be happening back then because when I came to England, I kind of knew that school type of English where you learn how to say, "Hi, my name is Olga. And what is your name?" So it's very well articulated English that nobody speaks in this country, all right? So I had to learn English, like the real English that people speak here. And probably that was the biggest challenge, my darling, because I'll never forget a situation where I went to the agency and I wanted to get a job, any job. I came from a corporate background. So I'm going to the agency because a friend of mine at the time, I just met her in England. She was from Lithuania. She said to me, "Olga, we have places, vacancies at the ice cream factory. So why don't you go to this particular agency that will, employ you to work with us?" I was like, "Okay, great." So here I am going to the agency dressed up like I used to dress up for corporate jobs interviews. So I'm wearing a dress, did my hair, put my heels on, coming to the agency saying, "Hi, my name is Olga. I'm looking for a job." And they're like, "Okay," look at me like, "Weirdo, why would you dress up like that?" Anyways, look at my CV, looked at me and said, "Sorry, we have no
Overqualified.
jobs." Exactly, exactly. And I'm like, "I don't care. Give me a job. I have a starving child at home. Give me a job." But basically, they just said overqualified. You're right. Long story short, eventually I did find the job in city center handing out magazines. And the reason why I'm sharing this journey because many people think they look at me, they hear me, and they think, "Oh, she just came to the UK, she just started her business." No, my business started way after I came to the UK. Business started with me. Because very often we think to start a business, you got to have an idea, you got to have, closing the gap for a product, a niche or something. Well, first off, we have to build yourself. That's why I believe we have to start build our business. You got to build yourself up to be able to run the business. And I knew without English, there's no way I can build any business, right? So long story short, eventually I started doing what I love, which is helping people with psychology, with dealing with their traumas, with understanding their behaviors, releasing whatever lack of confidence they have or other issues they experience. And it was challenging, I'll be honest with you, because in the beginning, there was massive lack of confidence because of my language. I did not lack any confidence because of my knowledge, because my personal development started at the age of 13, where I started learning about psychology and behavior and everything else, and then passed multiple courses and learned so much. But the language barrier, that was my lack of confidence. That was struggling. But again, if you have a goal and if you're persistent and consistent, then of course you're going to make it work. And darling, when you're saying all by yourself, oh, I can never take credit for everything that happened in my life because that's why I believe in relationships so much. Because not only I was supported by beautiful people who I met in the UK, as well as by people who I met outside of the UK, but we kept relationships going thanks to WhatsApp and Skype back then and all that stuff, but also through multiple lessons which I have learned through my personal, intimate relationships because some of them were so unsupportive, which ultimately, when I look back, was the best thing that could happen to me. Because if I would get the support, probably I wouldn't be where I am now. But because I was not supported, or because I was abused, or because I was used financially, that gave me extra strength and extra resilience and extra push to become who I am now. So it's kind of a combination of things. It's not just go start the business, it's building yourself, rebuilding yourself, reshaping yourself, and continuously growing.
Absolutely phenomenal. Thank you so much, Olga. Thank you for sharing everything. So much value you gave us already. I absolutely agree with everything you said, and I have to say, congratulations again. Really deep congratulations. Now let's go back because you said early on about the struggles in the relationships. And actually, right now, you are grateful for those because you can guide others, and it's like a blueprint for others who are facing those. What would you say was the biggest struggle in a relationship and how people can overcome that?
Can I pick one struggle from each relationship? Because I don't have one. um, okay, I'll start with one where I was financially used to the point of being in debt of minus 40,000 pounds. I went from having savings and successful business and feeling accomplished and really happy and proud of myself, and then meeting a guy who was very manipulative. And you know, when you really want to trust and love people for who they are and you don't want to kind of suspect anything wrong. And through multiple excuses and all that stuff, unfortunately, I was used financially for minus 40,000 debt. I maxed out all my credit cards. I went into personal debt with my friends. I was receiving phone calls from my landlord threatening me that, kick me out if I'm not going to pay rent, which was outstanding already for 3 months. And I went from having an abundant life and having my son going to guitar lessons and swimming lessons and here and there, and all possible after school lessons you can imagine for your child, right? To canceling everything and saving on literally everything because I was not able to simply even afford basic stuff. And unfortunately, this man one day told me, oh, there's a beautiful cut here. And unfortunately, this man told me one day that, look, actually, I'm not willing to have a job. I'm quite comfortable. And this when I realized we're over because so far he was feeding the lies that, yeah, I'll find a job. I'll support you one day. Yeah, let me just give me some more time. I still need to recover from previous let down by my partner and everything else. And I realized I was just simply used all the time. So that was challenging because, of course, it impacted my credit score for the next couple of years. And life was really difficult after that when you don't have even one credit card or anything supporting you.
Mm.
So that was a challenge. And I could have easily said that, oh, after that, I couldn't trust people. But I realized you can't brush everybody by the same brush. And the reason why, oh, hello, do you want another additional guest on your
Hello,
podcast?
welcome, welcome, sweetie.
Yeah, because we have one here. Um, you know, see, it's starting its own life. So I could have easily said that, don't trust people. And I will never say that because I realized through that particular experience that as much as, yes, I can blame him for using me financially, however, it was my own blueprint about relationships and about money. Because my old money story was that my money will be taken away. And that's why I would like to invite everybody who is either thinking to go into a relationship or is afraid to go into a relationship for their financial fear reasons. Look at your money mindset because that old financial story that my money will be taken away, which was coming from my childhood, of course, like most of our traumas, led me to manifesting and attracting this man who actually used me financially. And therefore, please look at your money mindset. Very often we're thinking it's only about relationships, and it's not. Our relationships are interlinked with our money, with other aspects as well, like our children as well, right? So that's why looking into your money mindset when in a relationship is crucially important. Because if I would do that before meeting this man, I would change my money mindset and I would manifest him. But life brought this man to me. So actually, I could learn this is my limitation. and I have to shift it. That's one example, but there are multiple other examples. If you want me, I can bring more.
That's lovely. Thank you so much for sharing it. And I have to say, that's a big, big lesson you learned. But in the same
Mm,
time, credit score, I know I used to work in finance and in banking a few years back. So credit score probably affected for like 5 years or even more than that. So yes. And the money
yeah.
limiting beliefs. Yes, I love when you mentioned they are coming back from your childhood because most of the time that's the case. But tell us, Olga, how did you make the shift? What have you done to change that and to really make a shift?
Okay, I took myself through a process which I would normally take my clients through because I pride myself in walking my talk. So when it comes to dealing with something, I always tell myself, okay, what would I do if that were my client? Okay, what process would I take them through? And because I got trained and you name it, whatever modality, family constellation, EFT, hypnosis, and many other modalities, it's always like, okay, which one we're going to use now? So I took myself in the process where through hypnosis, I actually went all the way back to my childhood. And what I pulled out was a memory where I earned my very first money. And my mom, she walked into my bedroom, and I was working for the entire summertime. In Latvia, we have summer for 3 months at school, which is brilliant, such a long summer. So I was working for 3 months on the field, gathering some strawberries and doing some other field work, earned my first money. And my mom, she comes into my bedroom and she says, Olga, I know you have money, but we need to buy some clothing for your brother for school. So please borrow me this money. And I kind of intuitively knew back then that once I give the money to my mom, I'll never see it again. But how can you say no to the authority like your mother? So I gave my money to my mom, and of course, I've never seen it back. So what I have done through the journey was to discover that memory. I went all the way back. I froze the moment and I changed the whole scenario. I rewrote the programming because with our mind, what happens? We are holding on to memories which we believe we had. However, we can change those memories. And when we change them, what happens? We rewire the whole behavior and choice making and the way how we think as a result because it just happens not automatically, not overnight, but over some time the change will happen. So I changed the scenario from my money was taken away, which means a story is when I have money, it will be taken away, to when I have money, it is my money. And the way how I did it, I replaced the scenario that instead of my mom coming and borrowing money from me, my mom comes to my bedroom and she says, Olga, I know you have money. Here's a red wallet for you to keep your money safe. Red because my favorite color is red, which is unusual for me today to wear dark navy blue. So, and this is how from that moment my mind start believing new story. My money is safe with me. My money won't be taken away because it's safe with me in my favorite wallet. And that was the pivotal moment of my life when after that, I realized I stopped sabotaging myself with money. I stopped making wrong financial decisions. I stopped making wrong decisions when it comes to investment and everything else because subconsciously I was living my life for decades believing the story, my money will be taken away. So before it's taken away, let me spend it. That was my pattern because I was afraid of my money being taken away. So, you know, can I blame that man for using me financially? Of course I could, but blame not going to get me anywhere. Instead, I decided to heal and learn from that experience. And I was like, okay, if I manifested him, that means there's a deeper issue within me because that was my choice to choose him. I was never short of men. There were lots of offers around me. Why did I pick him? Because of my money mindset issue, which of course I had to heal. And that's exactly what happens in life. Life will always send you a person who will help you heal. Whether you choose to see it or not, it's a different conversation. But always pay attention. What is surfacing? What issues are you experiencing? Because that requires deep and profound healing.
Absolutely, absolutely. I can relate so much. I have to say, I've been through a very similar journey. But
Mm.
I didn't learn my lesson from the first time. I had to go through a second relationship to get even worse, even in more debt. So yeah,
Yes.
I can say. But luckily enough, I managed to do the shift as well. But it took me years. It took me years because I had
Yes.
no idea what's going on, because my story is the other way around. I
Hmm.
was super successful since I was very young. I had the business when I was 16. I was always making money. Money were always flowing in in my life. So definitely I had some issues there that I had to work on. But I
Mm.
loved how you said that sounds so easy. The system you use, the methods you use, it can be simple. Like the way I
Yes.
know it's hard work, but with the right tools and with the
Hmm.
right guide, like you as a coach, you can do it and everyone can. And the link, I never ever saw it that way, like in a way of the
Hmm.
relationships. Yes, I knew we are a mirror and we attract people, but based on the fact that we attract people because we still have to heal something, especially relationships, that's a totally different game. So, what sort of problems your clients usually have?
Oh, very similar financial issues or infidelity. That's very common one as well. And here again, it's miraculous how my own journey also again very often helps my clients to open up because even at this retreat, one particular couple who went through infidelity, I could tell he was very reluctant to share it. And that's why what I went through was really helpful because I said, look, I know what happened because of course I've had information about them before. And I said, look, I can reassure you, I have been in your shoes. I have done cheating myself before, and I also have been cheated on. So I walked on both sides. I know exactly how it feels when you feel like total trash, total crap. You feel so bad about yourself. So you think, why would I even do that? How can I harm? How can I hurt this person? I hate myself. I blame myself. And also, I've been on the other side where you think, how could you do that to me? I've given you everything. I've been such a nice wife. I've been such a good person to you. I've been looking after you. I've been doing this and that. How could you do it to me? I said, look, I've been on both sides. And once he heard that, he was like, wow. Because he thought I'm perfect. I said, I'm far from perfection. And that's why so many clients can relate to me because and being on their journey. Or, for example, clients who come very often from really deeply traumatized childhoods. And here I'm able to tell them that, look, I also have seen trauma. I also have seen abuse. I have seen shouting. I have seen fighting. I have seen knives. I have seen cheating. This is how I learned about cheating. Cheating is normal because my mom came from hospital with my brother. He just gave birth. And my stepdad was in the bed with another woman. So what did I learn as a child being four? Cheating is normal. Yeah, just make sure you hide it because people get hurt when they see it. And that became a life story because whatever we experience as children, it's our normal, right?
Mm,
And therefore, it was quite profound to watch so many of my clients, whenever they will come to me and they will be like, I don't know how to share this. I'm like, oh, trust me, you can't surprise me. You can't surprise me. I've seen it all, if not in my own life, in that lives of my own clients, right? But it's that relatability that my clients are having with me that I'm not judging them. I'm there to really deeply feel with them. But not only that, because this is what therapy hooks you in. It constantly talk about that. You need therapy? I can give you therapy. Yeah, I was training that for one session. One session. Because next session, we're going to be moving on. We're going to be shifting your reality. We're going to be shifting your mindset. We're going to go back. Yes, we're going to talk through that, but we're going to pick up the lessons, pick up the healing areas, and we're going to work on them. And I will always give tools for my clients, even in this relationship. It was fascinating. By the way, the book is here. It was fascinating. Any page of the book, they were able to literally take tools away. And on the last day, they were like, whoa, we are literally walking away with a toolbox of whatever issue we are facing. We can go to this page or that page. Because my aim is not to make my clients addicted to my coaching. My aim is to empower them so they can go back home and apply their own tools for themselves, their children, their friends, and their other circles. Because this is what I believe true impact is. If I'm helping only one couple or one person, that's no impact. That is just helping one person, one couple. But if I can empower them to use those tools with other people and teach other people, That's impact.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I don't want to stop you just because I love every single word you say. I love your
Thank
mission.
you.
I love your passion. And I love everything. Absolutely everything about you is just,
Mm,
it's amazing. I'm just so glad I met you, I
me
have to
too.
say. So let's go a little bit back to your workbook because I love that as well. Can you maybe share with us one exercise or something that let's talk about infidelity because you mentioned about that. So yeah, I will let you show the cover in a second. Um, just please give us some tools for whoever is listening and why people do cheat. Let's go back to basics and what can they do to really say goodbye to the cheating?
It's a really great question because why people cheat is not something that people would think as the reason. The reason why people cheat is nothing to do with other half being wrong or not giving them something or not being perfect or anything else. No. The reason why people cheat is because they've own really deeply unresolved traumas. For example, I'll bring my own example. I learned cheating is normal. Cheating is something what is everyday thing because of what I have seen as a child. My stepdad cheating on my mom right in front of my eyes, right? And when you learn something like this, how can you think cheating is not normal? The one extra thing I learned was make sure the other half doesn't know because I have seen my mom being in pain and crying and shouting and being devastated when she found out. So what did I learn? Make sure they don't know, right? So why we cheat is because we have something that we experienced that potentially brings us to cheating is normal or cheating is answer to something, right? But very rare, unless you're really psycho, you would wake up and you would think, oh, I really would like right now to go and cheat on my partner because I want to hurt them. That's not going to happen. That's not the reality. Okay. So, whenever your partner cheated on, it's very easy. And I've been in your shoes as well. It's very easy to go back and think to yourself, oh, something is wrong with me. I'm not perfect. I am wrong. I have done this. I have done that because I've been there, right? After I shifted my identity from being a cheater to being non-cheater, I'm attracting a husband who actually is cheating on me for 3 years of our relationship. Before we got engaged, after we got engaged, and after the marriage. For the whole entire 3 years, he's cheating on me with about 80 plus women. So I've been in those shoes. I know how it is to think, what's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? Nothing. It's not you, it's them. It's always them. And we can either walk out on them or we can help them heal. It really depends on how much commitment and how much desire you have to work with somebody and how much of understanding you will also have. Because in his case, for example, because I was a cheater myself, I understood that he's coming from a trauma space, but he was not willing to change because after having three chances, he was still doing that. And I realized, okay, that means I am trying to change somebody versus he wants to change himself. And when you see your partner is still cheating or still choosing cheating as a response, as a coping mechanism, as a something that helps them to deal with something, respect their journey. Because we are nobody to change other people's journeys. And I said to my ex-husband, I said, look, I don't respect you for what you have done, but I respect your journey. And therefore, I'll let you go. I'm not here to change you anymore. And I'm sorry. And I apologized to him. I said, I'm sorry for trying to change you. But I think we're better separate and go separate ways because you saying to me that you cheat less in this relationship than in any others is not good enough for me. I want no cheating, not less. And therefore we parted. We just simply divorced.
Hmm. Oh, well, what can I say? Things happen. And if things are not going anymore on the same path, then it's okay. It's okay. It's part of life. I love
Exactly.
it. So, Olga, before I
Exactly.
let you go, I have one more question. Please tell me what be you means to you.
DU means living the life you love. That'll be probably the best answer because if you are not living the life that you can tell, I'm so blessed. If you're not in a relationship where you feel blessed, if you're not having the income that you feel blessed, if you're not doing the job, career, passion, hobby that you feel blessed, why are you wasting your life? Why are you living miserable life? Why are you submitting to less that you can be? Why are you having less that you could? Be you means unapologetically claiming what you came here for. That means joy, happiness, love, abundance, wealth in many shapes or forms. And I strongly believe in that because we are here to not only enjoy life, but we're also here to spread joy and spread the impact around us. We all have a mission. And I was very often and for a long time not really ready to step up into my mission, which means healing people as well as just helping them with the mindset. But once I stepped into this beautiful space of being a guide for so many people to step into their healing journeys, my life transformed. And now, when I'm able to communicate with energies, channeling messages for people through that, through myself or other people, helping them through the prayers or through the mantras or through other healing abilities that I have, my life is complete. And that's what I wish literally to everybody to say one day, my life is complete. I feel blessed. I'm here to grow more. I'm here to be more. I'm here to do more. But my life is complete. This is what I would like to hear from everybody.
That's beautiful, Olga. Thank you so much. And this will hit home for so many of our
Mm,
listeners. And whoever wants to get in touch with Olga, please go, reach out. I will put all her details here. It will be just a
thank you.
click away. Go send her butterfly so she will know you're coming from this community and she has some special discounts for you. So please go and start connecting and chatting with her. Just send her a message and see how she can help you. You saw how beautiful she is and how incredible she is. This was all from today. Amazing moms. Please take care, look after yourself. Send me that fire, whoever is ready for the business coaching session. Send me that so we can upscale your business. And remember, keep on shining, keep on smiling. Bye.
Bye.